Hi, welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. Today I want to talk about gut health. It's something that I feel quite passionate about and I have done for a number of years, but probably haven't taken it that serious until about the last year or so when I became aware of Zoe. I have done the Zoe program for the last 7 months, which has been life-changing for me, but I did make some changes before I started on the program. It might not be for everybody, Zoe's program. However, I would recommend giving them a follow on Instagram, just picking up some tips from there. You could also listen to their podcast and pick up some books by Dr. Tim Spector, who's one of the founders of Zoe. I've read 3 of his books, The Diet Myth, Spoon Fed, and latterly I think his latest one's called Food for Life. Anyway, I would highly recommend picking them up. You'll learn a lot from these guys, and say it has changed my life. From the Zoe program myself, I've actually lost 2 stone in the last 7 months. It's not necessarily though about the weight loss for me, it's more about the energy levels. I've got way more energy than I've ever had because I have just made some small changes to my diet. Nothing's really off the menu as well because it's just how you balance foods and it's more about what you add to your plate rather than taking away. And it's nothing to do with calorie counting, which is amazing because I've never counted calories in my life and don't believe in it. Also, don't eat anything that's diet, basically full fat all the way because it's proper whole food you want to be eating. In fact, their latest research recommends, I think, up to 30 different plants a week, which might sound like a lot, but once you start adding in all your herbs and spices, nuts, legumes, fruit, it actually stacks up quite easily. So 30 isn't that much to get to once you start focusing on being more plant-based. Obviously, there's other tips as well that they would recommend, and a lot of it's healthy eating that we know about already. So things like eating all the colours of the rainbow, which is a great way to make sure that you're covering off a lot of different plants, and every colour has got different benefits. So, for example, orange foods are well known for helping females' hormone health. It really helps balance the endocrine system and manage the production of estrogen and progesterone. So for women of a certain age, in fact, women of any age, if you want to balance your hormones, make sure you get into your apricots, get some turmeric, oranges, clementines, carrots. This time of year, obviously, pumpkins, sweet potatoes, those kind of things. And it kind of makes sense because if you're aware of HRT treatments, the body identical HRT, which is the most natural form of HRT, the estrogen there I'm sure comes from yams, so that makes perfect sense. It's the most natural way to get estrogen, and it is yellow like the ones I just mentioned there. Another tip for good gut health would be to try some intermittent fasting. Now that's something that used to terrify me because I thought I had to eat every couple of hours. Turns out I didn't have to eat every couple of hours to stop myself from being hangry. I was just eating the wrong foods. So try intermittent fasting. That only needs to be like 12 hours. It's really just to give your gut a bit of a break in between meals. So the ideal would be 12 to 14 hours if you can manage it, just giving your gut a bit of a break. Try some fermented foods. I know it's not everybody's thing, but they will increase the microbiome diversity that you have. It will add to all the different good bacteria that you've got in your gut, which will in turn help your immune system, help your overall health, help you to manage your metabolism. You'll find as well it's once you manage your gut health, it's actually really, really good for your mental health as well. I think something like 50% of dopamine is produced within the gut. So happy gut, happy mind, that's what we want. So yeah, fermented foods, try some kimchi. That's now probably become my new coleslaw. I used to eat coleslaw with everything. Now it's kimchi. I practically have with everything. Maybe try some sauerkraut, kombucha. You've probably seen on my posts, I'm always banging on about kombucha because I just think it's incredible stuff. And ideally make your own at home if you've got time because you know exactly what's going in it and you know how good it is for you. It's not got any nasties. See, I can't go on enough about gut health. Simple changes can make the biggest change. So Okay, I've mentioned here, your 30 plants a day, getting all the colours of the rainbow, fasting and eating fermented foods. The biggest change that I think all of us can make, absolutely, and make it right now, is avoid ultra processed foods. They are the devil incarnate as far as I'm concerned. I feel the same way about ultra processed foods as I do about chemicals in skincare. They're hidden, there's lots of salt, there's lots of sugar in there, there's a lot of preservatives that we don't need. And it's shoved in there to make the food taste good because there's nothing wholesome about it at all. And when they advertise all over it that it's good for you, or it's full of this 25% protein or whatever, usually when it's got a big message like that, it's hiding something else. And see, it's the same with a lot of skincare, and how I feel about these big companies that churn out all these packages of chemicals basically that we put into our body. So avoid at all costs, or certainly if convenience food is your thing, reduce it as much as you can and try and do some homemade foods, and you'll feel better immediately. I can guarantee it. There's also things that we can do immediately. Eat more fibre-filled foods, and with that, make sure you hydrate and drink lots of water. I would also recommend getting lots of sleep. That helps your gut health as well. And the usual: avoid smoking, avoid alcohol, because that messes up your gut health like nobody's business. And I can vouch for that from Sunday, because with a hangover, you either end up eating all the wrong things, or it just knocks your gut health out of sync. So there's some quite easy swaps and hacks that you can try right away, just to try and improve your gut health, and maybe give it a focus for the next month. For those of you that are going to do Sober October, perfect excuse, give up the alcohol and focus on what foods you're putting in your body, and see if you feel the difference. Okay, so that's all from me this week. I will catch you soon. Take care.